Greetings and welcome back everyone to Birthdays at the Beginning, where unfortunately it seems one or two of our species are on the verge of extinction right now. But in this episode, our goal, we've just got a new species. Our goal is to birth modern humans and possibly even finish the campaign. Right, where is that new species that just showed up? I saw you. There we are, all the way down here. Sometimes it is actually a little bit hard to notice. You'd think, oh no, it's flashing on the minimap. How could that possibly be hard to see? You would be surprised. Or at least I'm somewhat surprised. Over here, is it... Oh, hello. What be you, my friend? We have got an enormous sloth. It emerged as Andrewsarchus and Mammuthus were propagating. Oh, Megatherium. Yes, of course. I am familiar with you, if only because of RimWorld. But as we can see, our humans are propagating. Their tribes have, well, it's completely moved, actually. It seems that perhaps with the cooling of the world, this tribe not having as fun of a time as they used to. Either that, or they just genuinely like, yeah, you know what? They're down there. They're having this much bad. There's fish. There's oceans. There's rivers that are salty and they're full of noms. We're all going to leave there. Only we're going to leave you guys because, well, frankly, we don't like you. I imagine something along those lines. Perhaps they were once again exiled. Poor fellas. Or maybe since it was it is a man and a woman. Perhaps they're just star-crossed lovers. Perhaps they elected to move up here. The whole tribe moved down there at some point, but these two is like, no one understands our love. We shall have to move, and we'll live up here instead now. Now let's have a look at ancient humans. Ancient humans are doing fairly well. They have clearly domesticated giant crocodiles. Well done, ancient humans. I knew you had it in you. But for us to get to modern humans, we need 42% of land, which is earth, moss, or grass. 405,000 wheat, which we have none of just yet. We are a bit off from our required hominids as well. So we've got a little bit of work to do. Though on that note, let's go and have a look at cube status. Right. In terms of the land, 36% of all land is rock. 1.9% of it is sand, and 0.3% of it is snow. So we've actually got a little bit of growing to do to get the earth, moss, and grass requirements. Okay, I wasn't actually expecting that at all, if I'm perfectly honest. I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay, well, there's a couple of things that we can do then. Probably out here is one of the best areas for us to try and propagate a bit more greenery. Now, as I've mentioned, I do kind of like the idea of having a bit more of an island-style world. No, actually, we'll pull that down a little bit rather than rising up. We'll rise that bit up, though. In fact, we'll pull this bit down a little bit more. There we go. That makes it look quite nice. Now, what I'm thinking is we could probably, with quite significant ease, just run the ocean around the perimeter of this world. We won't do too much shaping with it just yet, since the goal is mostly just to make sure that there's moisture and earth and grass is growing everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I will bring you back when I'm done. Okay, I think we are just about done with the shaping. And all of that is going to be going into a time-lapse because, well, obviously, there was a lot of it. There's still a lot of work that could be done, corners that could be made to look a little bit better, you know, taking away some of the harsh edges. But here and there, I've tried to sculpt it to give it a bit of character rather than just big old rocky slabs. As you can see, I've risen a mountain range, a much more modest one than the ones that we've got elsewhere, along this area there to give a bit of a transition between the land and the sea. And out here, rather than simply putting land and then bringing the sea up to meet it, I've made a series of islands along here, a bit of an island chain, if you will. There is a lot of work that could be done, but I hope that it'll still look nice once there is plenty of greenery up on top of it. Again, don't build just based on the rocks. Otherwise, you'll find yourself shaping forever to try and make the rocks look less man-made and a little bit more interesting to look at. Remember, this is going to be covered in greenery, covered in grasses and trees, and that will make a big difference. Now, again, the objective here was not to sculpt the land so much as to increase the amount of land that was earth, moss or grass, and deserts don't include in that, unfortunately. However, this area probably will be quite a lot of desert, because desert requires vegetation. A lot of people have been asking me, why aren't you building deserts? You said you want to build deserts, but you got to build deserts. It's got nothing to do with heat. In fact, that's true in real life. A cold desert is a tundra. A hot desert is what you might imagine camels walking on. It's all to do with precipitation or moisture. And what you need for a desert is for there to have been vegetation first, for it to at least turn from rock into soil. At that point, the temperature will affect it. So, for example, if it's super low moisture and it's hot, it'll more likely become this kind of desert. Whereas if it's super cold, it'll probably end up with snow. From what I can tell. Now, all of these grey rocky areas are going to get vegetation either from the sea, or in the case of all the way over here, which is unfortunately quite far from the sea and any other water source, we're going to pop in a little bit of a landlocked lake, just to make sure that we've got some sort of greenery around this area. And we're going to make it a fair-sized lake. So we're going to go ahead and just drop that down there. But then we're going to just, the last little bits we'll sculpt on camera. We're not going to put a great deal of effort into this. I'm going to have a little island, though. I feel like having a little island in the middle of this lake would be quite lovely. There we go. Something for the humans that are already here or will be here in time to swim out to. Maybe build a little cabin out there. Have a little bit of fishing. Maybe there'll be some local myths about drowned lovers and the like. Maybe there'll even be a haunted lighthouse. Who can say? Actually, there won't be a lighthouse because there's not going to be any shipping. So it'll probably just be a cabin. Maybe with a myth of some drowned lovers, star-crossed lovers. They couldn't manage. Maybe the little hut over there will eventually end up migrating here, and hopefully there they will stay for a while until eventually the population is gone, and then the eons will erode the hut as well, and all that will be remained is the echo of their love. Oh, how beautiful. Right, with that, we're going to pass some time. We've got much time to wait for the greenery to propagate across the world, so let's get to that. Oh, we've got a Loxodonta. Let's have a look at you. Where be you, Loxodonta? You be over here next to the lake. Oh, we've got elephants! Fantastic! I approve! Oh, look at it waggling its ears to celebrate its happy birthday. It looks remarkably cute with those big eyes. Native to the savannah, the elephant differentiated from the mammothus as Homo erectus propagated. However, it lost most of its hair in the process. Oh, don't worry. I love you even if you're bald. Right, let's pass a little bit more time. It's going to take ages for all of the greenery to propagate. Ooh, we've got 2 new things. Oh, fantastic. Maybe even 3 new things. We've got the proto-butterfly and we've got wheat. Amazing, I must say. Let's head over here. How are things doing down here, my humans? They seem to be doing rather well, honestly. Are you a proto-butterfly? No. What is, then? What are we looking for? It's over here. Hello. Oh, you look lovely. Look at that giant moth-like creature. Oh, a newt that lives near rivers in warm climates. There we go. Level 19. Marvelous. Let's just check out this little area. We've got mammoths and bears and beefs and monkeys that walk on 2 legs, and we've got slightly less hairy monkeys that walk on 2 legs. We've got giant dragonflies. We've got monkeys that walk on 4 legs. We've still got some dinosaurs. We've got doggos. Oh, this is amazing. We've got primal butterflies. We've got flyers. This little area is actually becoming quite diverse, I've got to be honest. Several types of bears. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, it seems the lovers had children. And those children had children. Don't think about that one too much. But we have got a T-Rex. They are clearly the T-Rex farmers. Maybe people moved up from down here. Of course. I mean, it's natural for things to move around. And this little clan is actually set up quite well. They're in a good position. They've kind of got a monopoly on the snow T-Rexes. And they are... Well, Tyrannosaurus Rex is a very specific pun. Calling anything a snow T-Rex is just silly. But the snow Tyrannosaur, and they're farming it. They're domesticating them, selling them to the humans down on the near the coast. Marvelous. I approve of your industry there. Okay, good. We're starting to see a little bit more greenery moving around. I like that a lot. We'll also grab these from over here. Water of life obtained. That's rather nice. How are things going around here? They're going quite well. But we've got more things to gather. So what are we? There we are. Butterflies. Oh, this is lovely. Got so many plants. Early on, the plants, there's not much difference between them, and it gets a little bit samey. But now we've got lots of different plant species. The kind of carpet of flowers looks really quite nice. Primal butterfly that has adapted to cool climates. Wonderful. And the last one is all the way over here, just on the edge of the mountain, it seems. Where are we? Ooh, there we are. Ah, there we are. That's wheat. Okay, marvelous. We need more of that. A lot more, actually. But I imagine with wheat, I mean, it's already got a population of 1,800. Plants tend to propagate very, very quickly if the conditions are right. If the conditions aren't right, they take a long time to die off as well. Wheat is a differentiation of Phleum parantis, which is with edible seeds. Cultivated first by ancient humans, it can be grown alongside Bos taurus. Very well. Okay, well, let's pass a little bit more time. We're seeing a little bit more of the desert spreading, which is pretty cool. Ooh, what on this is that? We've got 2 new things. V. olavaceus. I have no idea what the V is going to stand for, and I have no idea what the thing is in general, but let's go and find out, shall we? Was it not over here? No, it was down here. Very well. What are you? Let's go and see you. Ooh, you are not what I was... Oh, well, actually, you might be the other thing that we unlocked. M. trogontheri. Mammoths that migrated to cold, dry plains in search of food. Very well. What on earth was that sound? It was the people, apparently. Very well. Where are we? It is over here somewhere. Just around here we've got... Oh, another lizard it looks like. Okay, yes, you are different from what I was expecting. A monitor lizard that lived in wide regions of cool, temperate land. It grew in abundance as Magalania was propagating. I really thought you were going to be a plant based on the name. Very well. Now, the problem is the temperature of our world is actually getting warm. A lot warmer than I would like. Let's check on what we're going to need. We've got a lot of humans. An awful lot of humans, actually. We're doing quite well in that regard. However, in terms of the temperature of the land, yeah, it's way too hot. Way too hot. We might be able to encourage humans to evolve if we use the chill stones, but honestly, I'm going to... it's a bit of a balmy summer. We're going to go with global cooling for a couple of degrees. And again. And again. There we go. And I think we may drop a chill stone somewhere around here. I mean, you've got a chill stone down here, which is fine, actually. That might be enough. That might be enough, but I could move the chill stone up here as well. We'll leave it at that for now, though, because the temperature's not going to get any hotter. which is fine by me because I'm not. I have no problem with our creatures being able to continue to survive. The ones that have adapted. Though one thing we do need to check is just how much of the land is moss, grass, or earth. Right, earth has been cut back significantly. Sand is a reasonable amount, but there's still quite a lot of rock, and that's going to take some time for us to deal with. The water temperature is starting to rise a little bit right now, as is the air temperature. Okay, moisture is taking a bit of a drop, actually, which is interesting. Oh, of course, we've just used global warming, which is probably having a moderate effect. And we are going to need a lot more happening around here. We've got a load of things that I still need to go and check on, though. Right, what are we going to need then? Oop, that is not what I meant to press, silly game. More fingers than thumbs today. I do apologize. Right, let's see. What I would like to do is add these to these buttons. So 1, 2, nope, and 3. There we go. Now I'm going to use these to rapidly get some moisture on the ground, and hopefully that in turn will help us get rid of this rock, get at least soil. We do not want sand. That is not a thing that we require right now. Pop a little bit up there, and we could even go for this, I suppose. Sure. We'll go ahead and get that one going to encourage a bunch of greenery to pop up there. But let's go and check on this final thing that we have to unlock. What have we got down here? It looks like it's probably plants, I'm going to guess. Yes, there we go. Let's have a look at you then. What have we got? It looks like seaweed. Seaweed that is spread to land. Oh, there we are. When primeval butterflies first began to appear, seaweed also attempted to migrate onto land. Attempted! It doesn't say succeeded. Okay. Well, let's pass a little bit of time and see if the moisture and the seed that we just planted helps much. Okay, we've got 2 new creatures, and we're actually getting loads of new species, like all the time right now. New species. Ooh! Oh, this is fantastic! Ancient humans have come all the way over here. This is a trading outpost, I imagine. The ancient humans further up the way have decided that they want to try and get in contact with their primitive ancestors and maybe uplift them. Maybe they just want to trade for the various awesome things that only they seem to create. Maybe they make some amazing like glass beads, and they're all the rage in the ancient human towns at the moment. A plant with large leaves that grows in cool wetlands. Thank you very much. So they've built a trading outpost because, frankly, it's a dangerous trek. It's a very, very long trek. So having that little trading outpost there makes all the sense in the universe. But look at their cities. They are becoming extremely populous. And the wheat is spreading all over the place over here as well. I'm enjoying that. Very, very pleased to see that. How are things doing over here? We are seeing a lot more greenery. That is really, really good. I'm liking this a lot. Hopefully we will see enough moisture around here to help out. I might add a little bit more of a lake around here. Just a tiny bit. Just to try and help out with that. So let's sink that in there. About there as well. Pull this down. And then just shape it just a tad to make it look a little bit more interesting. In fact, I kind of like the idea of rising the land there as well. And we'll have a little prominent rock right there. It makes it look a little bit more interesting to have a frame, something bordering the water's edge. Right, what have we got up here? We have got it's a little mouse. Hello, it's a little blonde mouse. Happy birthday. Right, as musculus, yeah, musculus, I think, rapidly propagated, some adapted to live in the cool desert. Very well indeed. We are seeing a lot of earth growing around here, though. That is super good. Let's go and check on our mountain range, though, while we're here, since we are definitely going to need this place to mostly be earth by the time that the wheat is propagated enough. Yeah, we're doing okay. That little river there, doing quite a lot of work, and the islands over here doing amazingly well. Very, very nice. Starting to see a lot of different greenery popping up there. I approve. These guys spreading out well. How's the village up here? The village is getting much bigger up here, but the tyrannosaurs have moved. I see. The very primitive humans, perhaps sensing a little bit of danger with the ancient humans. I mean, they're very technologically advanced, though they look somewhat similar. They have strange ways and customs. They've positioned their dinosaurs along the perimeters just to remind them who controls the giant alpha predators right now and who doesn't. But I don't think the ancient humans wish you any harm whatsoever. They are coming with honest trade. They're not trying to trade for your land. They're not trying to give you weird blankets or anything. They just want your marvelous beads. Shush, you have nothing to fear. I am certain of it. Humans are not mean like that. Okay, we've got 2 new creatures again. The species is popping up constantly at the moment. It's amazing. Right, we need to get down here. What have we got? Ah, these anglerfish are starting to look really, really cool down here. What have we? Have we got something? I am going to guess it's something above me. No, it's you. Hello. How be you? Oh, I like the patterns. I like the patterns a lot. Due to high propagation, a differentiated acanthodes that adapted to a deep sea habitat eventually emerged. Very well. And greenery is definitely starting to spread around a little bit. Let's actually have a quick look here. Okay, no, that's getting much better now. Much better. We've still got a little ways to go, but we're getting there. It's got to be around 42%, I believe. So let's just have a quick look at that. Yeah, 42% of the land has to be earth, moss, or grass. We shouldn't have too much trouble getting there. Though we are about half of the way towards the wheat requirement, and we've already vastly exceeded the hominids requirement. Homo erectus is doing really, really well. Much better than I was expecting. Though at this rate, we might actually get enough ancient humans by themselves to satisfy that criteria before we get enough greenery propagated over the land. Okay, and once again, we've got another 2 species to have a look at. I'm letting the time pass. Unless the species looks like it's struggling, I generally let a little bit more time pass and see if we can get a couple of species before I pause, because I noticed in the previous episodes there's just lots of cuts of me pausing to check out new species. But look how well our people are doing. Oh, this is amazing. And I noticed the trading outpost has grown quite big. Oh, this has grown into a large settlement. Well done. The humans are prospering, and it seems that they are coexisting marvelously. This is fantastic. This little trade settlement's actually become quite prosperous. They've got their own governor at this point. They're no longer simply an extension of one of the other ancient human settlements. They've become a settlement all their own, and now the other ancient humans trade with them. Oh, it's very, very interesting, though I do worry a little bit about their focus on things. Now, let's have a look at you. I believe this is a hyena. I mean, we wouldn't want to see any wars break out. Or any monopolies, that kind of thing. Canis lupus, adapted to the savannah. Hyenas mainly prey on musculus. Very well. And the next one, we've got all the way over here. Actually, I'm going to grab whatever it is. Go, through the mountain. And as is my godly right. It's not wall hacks if you are a god. It's completely legit if you are a god. Hello, is there something new up here? There may well be, but I do not see it. Is it above me? Let's zoom out a little bit. Hello, there is apparently something here that is new. It says... Is it one of you? There we go. Oop, I pressed start again instead of select. There we are. Is it another newt? It's adapted to desert habitat where cool winds blow. Oh, very well. And that is... Ooh, we've got another one as well. Wow. Okay. We're doing very, very well. Hello. It's probably using it. Yes, it is. A new insect. I'm very glad to see new insects, actually. Very, very glad to see new insects popping up. Flies near the surface of shallow water. It feeds on organisms that protrude from the water's surface. Very well. Now, we've got this desert up here. If we want to have more desert, then we are going to need a couple of oases. As I mentioned, you do need these little spots of moisture to trigger that to happen. So let's go ahead and find you. We could put down a bit of just moisture using the rain clouds, but that's a very kind of transient solution because it eventually wears off. Whereas if we pop down just a couple of little lakes, the actual oases where perhaps traders can set up a couple of huts, and that is marvelous in my opinion. There we go. We'll have a very small one there, just dotted there to help move some moisture around, and one here as well, but it's not going to turn into a waterfall. I fancy that a waterfall would probably increase the moisture much more than I intend, for obvious reasons. You know, as the water is cascading down the rocks, it's going to be kicking up spray, and the moisture is going to get into the air. Right, let's see around here. How are we doing? I think we're doing particularly well, though I'm a little bit concerned about the temperature. I am tempted to use a little bit of my godly powers again to encourage the world to cool just a little bit more. However, I'm thinking I will use the seed around here. Where are you? Let's get you down there. We'll encourage some plants to actually grow there, which would be quite nice, I think. We've got a little rocky area down here. Is that rock or is it soil? It's soil, which is fine, actually. Okay, well, given that, then I'm going to drop the temperature a little bit more. It's down to 20. Do we do it again? Let's see how things go first, because the humans are they've probably got a fairly reasonable birth range. In fact, let's just check on that. And whilst we're doing that, let's have a look at the tree. There's only a single plant over here, corn, that we need to get. Over here, we've got 2 plants. And then this side of the tree, oh, well, actually, another 4 plants there. That's a bit of a shame. We've got a bunch of seaweeds, but we are not going to get them. They require significantly too high temperatures. In fact, that one requires really cold temperatures, which is interesting. I'm not sure how I'd get that easily. Insects, they're starting to fill out, but we've still got a lot to go. Fish, not doing too bad, actually. Got quite a lot of fish. I'm pretty pleased with that. We've still got a couple of crocs that we can get. One more lizard, though. It's interesting that there are a couple of, you know, secret ones that are still locked, even though I'm fairly certain that this is the last episode, and after this it's into free play. Now, modern humans. Birth temperature is 13 to 23, so yeah, 20 will be fine. Adaptation temp is pretty extreme, and birth moisture fairly reasonable. Okay, well, we've just got to wait on them then, so just going to be passing a little bit of time, and I'll bring you back when there's something to report. There we go, modern humans have been born. It's a modern human. Yay, a modern human. Happy birthday. Sorry, I said it twice. I'm just really glad I chose you. That's the last birthday, but our work isn't quite done yet. You've come a long way since I dragged you into this, and at long last it's all led up to this moment, the birth of civilization. I know I repeat myself a lot, but that's really the main reason why I summoned you here. Civilization will be birthed when humans prosper. I don't have much more advice left to give you. Off the top of my head, flat land near the sea will help. There are other factors too, but humans will prosper more easily if there's lots of land. From there, you can do as you like. So, the rains have been completely removed, and it's down to us. But there's a couple of new species that that popped up. Let's go and check them out. What do we got down here? There is a new fish, I believe. Where are you, new fish? You are right there. Hello. I believe these are sardines, judging by the name. We have got S. pilchardus. Yes, sardines that flourished in the cold sea. They appeared as Australopithecus and Canisteris spread on land, and Culpia and Latalabrax in the water. Okay, and what about up here then? Ooh, look at you! Fantastic! All we now need is lions, and then we'd have the whole trinity. A tiger that differentiated from the Smilodon and lives in the forest. It emerged as Homo erectus and Canis lupus were multiplying. Very well. And it looks like modern humans have settled over here. Hello. Let's get a good look at you, shall we? Womp. Where are you? You're right behind me. How rude. Oh, hello. Where? You got a deep voice. Hello. How you doing? Oh, she looks cute. There we go. Primates that built cities in large green lands and practiced trade. The wheat fields cultivated by ancient humans had a large impact on their population. Very well. We are now level 20. Oh, happy days. Okay, well, we just need you to propagate a bit. We've got... how about... what's the moisture here? There's plenty of moisture here, actually. That shouldn't be an issue. It just seems kind of curious at the sand there instead. But it looks like this is going to be your area. So I'm glad we've got greenery around here. Though I am going to go ahead and just raise a little spot for another river, I think. Just to ensure that you've got plenty of water. And we will move that out just a little bit there. There we go. And then add a little bit just around the edge, just to make it look a little bit nicer for you. And there we are. I think that's fairly good enough. We'll add another edge there too. There we are. Right. Well, crack on. Crack on. I wish you the very best. I need you to be much more populous as fast as possible. I wonder why my mouse keeps moving into the middle. Okay, we've already got something else straight away. Well, what have we got there then? It's living over here by the new humans. Hello? What do we have? We have got a snow tiger, it appears. Marvelous. Oh, it seems that maybe the ancient humans actually bought some of the snow tyrannosaurs, and they've now erected them in defense against the modern humans. There's a lot of distrust here, but I don't think it's necessary. Smilodon that claims cold land as its territory. I mean, let's look over here. This place is wonderful. Look at it. It's so diverse. So many animals, and they're doing so well. You haven't managed to kill them off yet, and I can only put that down to you not trying. Well done, you dapper fellows. But let's not be unkind to the new people. Look at their lovely little houses. Oh, that's pretty. Is there one over here as well? Oh, that's super pretty. I like it. It seems that they have no fear of spiders either, which I approve of since they're building their houses right next to them. They understand that spiders keep away flies, and flies are the real enemy here. Flies. Okay, we've got Scombrini and Zymaze. I suspect that's corn, based on the name, but we could be surprised. So let's go and check this. No, I think that is actually corn right there. There we go. We've got... no, is that wheat? No, it is actually wheat. Never mind. I'm making things up, apparently. But so, what's here then? Let's have a look around. No, there is corn. I was going to be very shocked if that name wasn't corn. Also known as corn, this plant was discovered by early humans as their population increased and cultivated as a primary food source. Now, I wonder if that's going to have any effect on the population of our modern humans. What have we got over here? Is it you? No, we've already discovered you a while before. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't you either. So, what has popped up? There, we got something in the water. Hello. New type of fish. Saltwater mackerel that migrated to cold shallows. It emerged as later Labrax and Sardinia pilchardus were spawning rapidly. Very well. Marvellous, in fact, one might say. Let's have a look on our towns. Oh, they're prospering. This is marvellous. They've got big houses now, probably market areas. Are you trading amicably with the ancient humans? I hope so. This trading area is starting to die back a little bit at this point. I think perhaps because trade with the modern humans has kicked up a gear, and it's just so much more profitable. People don't want the glass beads anymore. They want the well carved instruments and kitchenware, and also the smelted figurines. Well, that is figurines made out of metal that were smelted by modern humans, because you're not up to maybe you've got some bronze and things like that. Maybe not even bronze. Maybe you're still just working with copper mostly. But no, the modern humans, they're dealing with alloys now, and this is rather amazing to you guys. But your city is still by far the most populous. Increase modern human population up to 260,000. That actually shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. Famous last words, I know. Okay, we've got 2 new species again. I think we've got a new tiger, or something similar to it. Hello. So is it a leopard? We have got Panthera pardus, a differentiated Panthera tigris. The leopard has adapted to a cooler climate. Marvelous. And straight over here, we've got something else as well. What have we got down here then? Where are you? Just up here, up the mountain a little bit more. We have got... Is it you? No, it is actually the doggo. Oh, wonderful. What have we got then? Canis lupus that dwells in the tundra. Tundra wolves prey on Mus borealis. Very well indeed. Now let's have a quick gander at the population. You've got castles! That is amazing! Oh my lord, that's fantastic. I approve so mightily of your castles. So mightily. Let's check out your population. You're up to 44,000, which is about twice what it was the last time I looked, which I'm very, very pleased to see. I imagine you're going to do okay in here, though we may need to have a little bit more of a look in a few thousand years. Now, we're up to 4.1 million cube years. Now, one thing to say about this, I've had a couple of people saying that I'm rushing. In my mind, I'm not rushing. I'm simply approaching the objectives as they've been fed to me. I haven't just been waiting around a lot. If I've been given an objective, I've been moving in the direction of that objective. I'm not moving as fast as I can. I'm not putting everything towards that objective. But I feel that the speed that I've been playing the game is just the speed that I'm playing the game, I'm afraid. If we were playing in free play, I think I would spend a lot more time just waiting. But part of what's been happening here is actually just that originally I thought it would be a case of we had 5 million cube years to get everything done, and that was that. But it has been mentioned to me that actually it's 5 million cube years from the start of that episode. So getting the star for the 5 million year completion doesn't require that I complete this episode by 5 million years, which does make sense, I suppose. But I was a little bit confused about that one. Hello there, elephant. Different coloured of elephant. What do you specialize in? This one underwent a mutation, allowing it to live in the forest. It feeds off the leaves of many broad-leaved trees that grow in the forest. Very well. We do have quite an extensive forest out here, actually. It's quite beautiful, I must say. Perhaps I'm going to encourage things to grow over by the humans, though. I think that might help them out a little bit. So let's go ahead and pop this down around about here. Whomp. Now then. There's one other thing that we really want to do. We've got these jars full of awesome things. We've got velociraptors. I'm going to introduce these to the ancient humans because I feel that they've got a handle on this kind of life. Hopefully you can domesticate the velociraptors and maybe sell them to the ancient humans. Maybe you can start up a new trade because I feel a little bit bad that these guys, their city-state has just slowly crumbled over time. Let's see. What else have we got? We have got the Tyrannominimus. Well, I mean, you've already started to domesticate them yourselves. It looks like ancient humans, though, they've still got them. So I think it's only fair that modern humans have them as well. So here you go. Let's get you a Tyrannominimus of your very, very own. We'll place it... well, it does need to be cold, so... let's place it nearer here. There we go. Somewhere like this. Can I not put you down? There we go. Pomp! Enjoy! Hopefully don't get eaten by. That's my only hope. And over here, we're going to drop down the plesiosaur. I'm not sure how the plesiosaur is going to do in the current temperature. I fancy it's not going to do well at all, actually. But we're going to place it down anyway. Pop. Can I not place it down? There we go. I can place it down around here. No, I can't. I can't seem to place it anywhere near other creatures. But there we go, plesiosaur. You're probably going to die. I seem to recall that you liked very hot ocean, so there you go. Have a heat stone to keep things nice and toasty for you. There we are. That's the best I can do. Now, let's head back out and see how a little bit of time will affect the situation. Wow, so many new creatures just popped up. But they're all ones that we've had previously. But I'm pretty impressed, actually. Pretty impressed. Velociraptors have gone extinct. Oh no! The ancient humans didn't take care of their new pets. Bloody ancient humans. Let's see. Either that, or they just saw them as food and ate them. Oh, we've got pandas! How did the panda survive and the velociraptor didn't? My lord. That's just nonsense. Gradually adapted to live in the forest on a diet of grass and trees, becoming a giant panda. It emerged as humans were propagating. Very well. It looks like the ancient humans have got any pets to trade with the modern humans, at the very least. Modern humans are continuing to expand, and it's looking quite nice, I must say. Let's make sure that is set up there, I think. Okay, well, we've still got the plesiosaur. The velociraptor has died off, unfortunately. Modern humans, their populations continue to grow nicely. If a little bit slower than I would like, but we'll see how that goes. And I will bring you back when there's something to report. Okay, right. Well, I think that we've got a large enough human population now. It's definitely very well established. I think it is probably time for us to sculpt the land just a little bit more to encourage them. But also, I mean, the key for their development is in having the right sorts of things around them, not just extra land. And whilst we can see that ancient humans are thriving, and I'm going to put a guess out there, because they've got ridiculous amounts of food, we are going to try and encourage the same for modern humans. So we're going to grab up a couple of specimens of wheat and corn. Yeah, corn specifically. We'll grab wheat and corn, and we're going to transplant them all the way over here where the modern humans live, because I feel that their population is currently limited by their ability to trade with ancient humans for the right materials. Let's pop this one down there, and the last one can go up here, I think. Thereabouts. Perfect. Right, with that as well, let's actually see if that makes any kind of difference to their population. If it does, then I may go ahead and start lowering down the land as well to prepare for their population boom. So let's head back out and see how that goes. Currently, we've got a modern human population of 120,000. And let's see, maybe, let's say 20, 30,000 years, and we'll check back in there. We've got something new to go and look at as well. Okay, that's good enough. 142,000. Okay, I am liking that. We've also got boss Grunins. Let's go and check out what a boss Grunins is. Let's see around here. We've got a couple more. Where are you? Ooh. Are you, what on earth is this? That does not appear to be a boss Grunins. Oh, yes, of course. A little while ago, we had a Schnauzer show up, and I hadn't captured it yet as I was waiting for more things to spawn. Domesticated dog that adapted to steep, high-elevation lands. Emerging after Seafield borealis, they thrived among humans, though wild breeds still exist. How marvelous. And what have we got down here? We've got a fish. Let's have a look at you. What kind of fish are you? You are the splendid Alfonsino. It's a saltwater fish that lives in the deep sea. It emerged after Sardinia, Pilchardus, and Scrombrini flourished wildly. Or widely. Okay, have we still got something else too? Cause oh yes, there we are. I mean, the boss, I was looking for a cow, but it is a snow cow. How marvelous. Okay, Welcome, Snow Cow. A boss Taurus that adapted to live in extremely cold climates. Yaks leisurely eat grass and serve as livestock for ancient humans. Marvellous, if you ask me. I am tempted to lower the temperature just a little bit, though, for our our modern humans. Yeah, let's drop the temperature just a wee bit. Just once of these. I'll drop it by about 3 points. There we go. And furthermore, I think we are going to... Yeah, we'll be a little bit drastic with this one. We're going to lower this mountain down a fair old way so that our humans can enjoy a larger area to expand into. Should we go down a little bit more? Yeah, sure. There we go. Now then, we want to do a little bit of sculpting, naturally. Do that there. Cut this in a little bit. There we are. Making it look a little bit more of an interesting landscape, all things considered. And holding down the left button, we can just adjust the heights up in very specific ways without affecting everything and throwing everything that we've already sculpted out of alignment. There we go. That should give you a little bit more room to expand. How's the... Oh, the wheat and the corn is thriving. Oh, that's very good to see. Very, very good to see. I think the next thing we're probably going to do is try and move some cattle down here as well. Maybe some doggos too, since I think that would probably help you out a little bit as well. I really should get more involved with moving animals and food sources around, honestly. And that's something that we can probably look into the next time I play. In free play, for example. Ooh, we've got another creature showing up. Its population is doing okay. Mostly I'm focused on modern humans. 156,000 at the moment. We're going to let a little bit more time pass, and I'll bring you back when it's time to check out a couple of new species. Well, modern humans' population is exploding. We're currently up to almost 200,000, so I figure it's probably worth our while checking out the new species that we've got, just in case we get to the full human population that we're going for a little bit sooner than I expect. Where are you? Also, there's some things down here that I wouldn't mind picking up. Whereabouts is the new creature? Is it all the way up here, really? Over here somewhere? No, we've already got those ducklings. There we go. It is an anglerfish that lives a little bit higher up, it seems, because we are certainly not in the deep sea. Oh, actually, no, we are in the deep sea. We're not in the deep, deep sea, is what I should say. This one migrated closer to the water's surface and adapted. Though prey is more abundant, its bioluminescence is less effective now. Oh, don't worry. It's fine. I'm sure you'll do well for yourself. Now, how are things going over here? Things are going actually quite nicely, I must say. But I think it is time for us to move some more animals across. Oh, we've got another 9,000 years for that. Oh, that's fine. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Boom, there we go. Let's jump down and move some cows over. Some livestock for our humans. There we are. We'll take this one. I will also take you. And I think we're going to grab... Sure, we'll grab a little bit more corn and take that with us as well. There we are. Now, let's have a look at how the humans have been prospering. They really don't want to move over here. They really don't want to expand. They're refusing adamantly. However, they are expanding in this direction, which is a little bit surprising. Oh, and up here. Wow, okay. Wow, they're actually right next to the super primitive humans. This is glorious. We're going to have amazing trade going on. I am very, very pleased with this. Very pleased indeed. Well, I want to move the cows over here. Let's see. About there, I would say. Yes. Womp. Then we'll get another one just about here, I would say. Another boss Taurus. There you go. And up here, we're going to try and place down the... noms. There we are. The corn for them. That should help out a little bit. Now it's going to be another 100,000 years before we can do that again. But that should be fine, I think. Let's head up. And I guess we're going to be waiting for 100,000 years. Though I'm interested to see how Boss Taurus is doing quite well. Their population just bumped up there. Fantastic. Let's actually see how modern humans, 203,000. I am very, very pleased with that. Very pleased indeed. Okay, currently I'm on the hunt for a little bit more wheat. It really does seem that the population of humans is probably the most closely regulated by the amount of wheat that we've got. It's time again for me to transplant, and we've gone up by to around 230,000 modern humans. But again, it is slowed down. It hasn't changed in about 20,000 years. And it seems to get the biggest boost when I transplant wheat for them. So we're going to do that again. And we're actually not going to transplant it very far. We're simply going to use our godly powers to duplicate the amount of wheat that's available for them. Now, as you can see, we're starting to see a nice bit of spread of wheat over here. But over here, I think we're going to get a little bit more. Pop down a little bit over here as well, if we can fit it in there at all. Yes, we can. There we go. And finally, we're going to head all the way back up here, where things are actually going reasonably well, actually. And pop down some wheat around here if I can find a spot. There we go. Is that a valid spot? There we are. Perfect! Our humans should do remarkably well, I think. Down here, this is amazing. Jurassic Park works, people. I don't know why they have so much trouble in the movies, but clearly our humans are doing amazingly well. This is Jurassic humans as well. This isn't just dinosaurs with modern humans and their fancy theme parks. This is proper living with dinosaurs. Marvelous. Right, we probably don't have much time left before we see the end of this episode. Let's check back in about another 10,000 years and see how things are going. Ooh, got a new species. Actually, it hasn't expanded much at all. I'm very surprised by that. But let's go and see. We've got a new crocodile by the looks of it. Hello there. How are you doing? Enjoying some noms by the looks of it. Excellent. The crocodile lives in the cool, calm shores and eats anything that gets too close. Anything. Absolutely anything. Giant dinosaurs, towns, people in the towns, mountains occasionally. Sometimes it just eats sunlight. Sometimes it eats the sun. Anything means anything. And I do not, for a moment, doubt this game's truthfulness when it tells me something like that. Let's see. Everything is going okay down here, though. They are spreading very, very well, actually. I'm a little bit concerned that their influence is kind of splitting ancient towns up over here, which is a bit of an interesting looking effect. Though I continue to be quite surprised that the humans are not moving out in this direction. Maybe it's got something to do with the equatorial regions, or perhaps they just like being near Mount Aavak. I don't know. I mean, they do seem to be just colonizing around Mount Aavak, whereas the ancient humans were happy enough to colonize all the way over here. Maybe the next thing I should do is move a human. I hadn't thought of that. Wow. That will be an interesting thing to check in about 100,000 years or so. Yeah, about 60,000 years from now. Very well. We'll check back on that shortly. Okay, it is time to do the last little bit of finagling. We are going to transplant some humans around. Now this only just occurred to me. I will take you, and I will also take you. And finally, I will take one from up here as well. I hadn't for a moment considered just moving people around. My goodness. Right, we're going to have some modern humans. We're going to send some emissaries out. This land should be good for you, I think. Let's get some modern humans. Let's not pop you right up there. Let's find a nice little spot over here for you, perhaps. There we go. So we'll get some modern humans living over there. We will also plomp down some modern humans around here, I think. There we go. And finally, we'll get you to live amongst the ancient humans. There we are. Well, sorry, the Homo erectus. And we'll see how that will affect things. Let's hop back out and actually check on the population. How will that have affected the population? Not very much. That's right. Oh, never mind. It affected it enormously. 356,000 modern humans. Oh my lord. I feel that that is possibly because I just duplicated big populations of humans, but I like to imagine that is actually because they settled down and made settlements in these other places, which are obviously good for human life, because there's so many other humans living there, especially the ancient humans. I imagine they did very well, because the ancient humans have spent a long time building up all of that food. I'm sure you'll be happy to know that it's time to complete your mission. I'm not happy though. Oh, Navi. I have to say, I don't really feel emotions to begin with, and leave it at that. That sounds sad. Anyway, I knew all along you'd keep coming back, but now it really is goodbye between us. I managed to fulfill my mission, and you get to go home. Sounds like a happy ending to me. I've been programmed to give the standard farewells, goodbye, etc. Good luck with everything. Navi, something doesn't feel right about this. I gotta be honest. But we managed to complete everything within the 5 million cube years. Which is actually what I'd been aiming for from the very beginning, mostly because I didn't understand how that all worked. But I still find it kind of nice that we've actually completed the whole thing within 5 million cube years. And there's lots of room for improvement there, but also a lot of room for just getting a lot more organisms. Right, let's see how things wrap up. When it was all said and done, it felt so brief. Though I was relieved to return to the real world, I felt sad too. Navi. I wonder what he's thinking about right now. I wonder what that world was in the first place. I still feel like I'm dreaming. Oh well. I may as well go home now. Alright. Upon exiting the cave, I was greeted by a familiar forest. I took out the map and hurried home. Once I got out of the forest, there was no way I could get lost. So it is our forest then. I could see it. My house. I'm home again. And at that moment, though nothing seemed out of place, I couldn't shake this feeling of unease. Oh dear. Maybe I'm just imagining things, I thought, as I entered my house. Welcome back. But I didn't recognize the voice. Huh? What's going on? I'd never seen this person before. Navi, this isn't what we talked about. What am I supposed to do now? Well, Navi, you scoundrel. Jeez, I don't get this world at all. So you kidnapped us and didn't even put us back on the right world? No flight of the Navigator is this. Navi is not a good alien. Navi is a scallywag. My lord. But that seems to be the end of the game, or at least the end of the campaign/tutorial, because really a large part of it is just teaching us how to play the game. I'm going to let the credits roll, as always I do whenever I complete the game. I let the credits roll in full, out of a mark of respect for the people who developed the game, if nothing else. But it looks like it's actually showing us a couple of screenshots from... yeah, it says Aavak down in the bottom left. So is this going to give us like a slideshow of the important moments throughout our adventure? That's actually pretty cool. I like that quite a lot. Now, a lot of people I know have sort of... they're on two different camps on how they feel about the game in terms of the agenda or the message that it's presented. And I guess there's a third camp, to which I belong, in that I don't feel the game was particularly trying to push an agenda. In fact, I think it was attempting to remain neutral. And of course what I'm talking about is the creationist versus evolution theory. And... I mean, with this game, it had both, in a sense, and I don't think that was the focus. I don't think that's what the game was trying to do. It wasn't trying to take part in that discussion at all, and there's possibly something to be said about that, whether it should have taken a stance. But we certainly had the evolution of lots of creatures, and then eventually a little guy in a red and white jumpsuit had to give one of man's ancestors a fruit of knowledge. It was neither good nor bad, and it resulted in them evolving. It had a lot of curious things, and a couple of people have commented that after watching, like, I think 10 or 9 episodes so far, up to the point that the episodes have gone live, and they still don't know which camp this game belongs to. And again, I think it doesn't belong to either of those particular camps. I think it's got its own camp. It's happy on its own. It is a wise man / witch. It lives up on a mountain in its own hut, just doing its own thing, and people come and hang out every now and then. If I'm going to be playing this again, I will almost certainly be doing challenges and free play. I'm very interested in what it would be like starting free play from the beginning. There is so many different ways that you can play this game, and in fact, recently one of the Dapplings on my Dapper Dell Discord server was asking, well, how many hours of playtime do you think this game has? Honestly, I don't think there is an easy way to measure that. It's certainly not how long it'll take you to play this part of the campaign, because like any simulation, you can just go back and do things differently. And it's not as superficial, do things differently, but ultimately, you know, do things the same. A lot of like sandbox games don't really give you the capacity to do things differently, but this game definitely does. I could go back and I could just start off with a complete water world and just see what I could do with it. I could perhaps sculpt the land in a very different way, have massive flat areas and just see how that affects the simulation. The thing with a simulation game, and that's what I think this is more than a sandbox, is that it's a tool, it's a playground for you to just see what happens, make a little change, throw some chaos into the mix, and just observe the results. I mean, that sounds a little bit callous for the lives. Oh wow, I've got to be honest, I am liking the screenshots of the world as it develops. I'm actually reasonably proud of how our world ended up looking, and I'm glad I took the time to add the water around the edge. I know I didn't shape it excessively towards the end, but I do think that our little world had a lot of character in it, an awful lot of character, actually. And again, I think there's a lot more that you could do with this game. Certainly you could have massive biomes. I'm not sure how big the worlds go in the free play mode, but I know you can select different sizes of maps, and you might be able to have really very distinct biomes. And I would love to see, again, if I'm playing it without the campaign, I might use the seed of evolution more than the seed of mutation. I might just see what I can do. There are definitely quite a few locked species. As we saw, there were things even in the 4th episode that I couldn't unlock, and I think those are like Easter egg creatures. I know there are a couple of mythical ones in there, and that's something a couple of other people have mentioned as well in the comments that I've seen throughout this series, that they really would love it if this was more of a mythical thing, rather than having actual dinos, rather than actually having mammals and species and things with names from our world. Just going full on fantasy and speculative evolution. Well, I imagine that is something that's going to be added. In fact, I've heard little things here and there, none of it official, but rumors largely, or just you know, chit chat, that was the plan. That there was a much larger scope for creatures, some just imagined, some, you know, reasonably based in science, like what if this creature had developed in a different way? What kind of creature might it have become, rather than, yes, we want black unicorns that run on rainbows. There was a lot more of that, but it was cut out because of time pressures to get the game ready for release, that sort of thing. And so we might see more of that being introduced in DLC. There's already been 2 free DLCs, the UFO and the Boxosaurus Rex. Obviously, just little jokes, but I could see that happening. A lot more creatures, a lot more tools. And of course, thank you very much for playing this game. Oh, that's very, very nice of you to do. Thank you very much for making it, Arc System Works and ToyBox Inc. But with that, I think we have come to the end of the episode. Would I like to save? Yes, I would. I will pop a save down right there. There we go. And that's it. We've come to the end of the game. So as I mentioned, we can do more challenges. We can do free mode. There is a little part of me that is interested in playing through the campaign again and just seeing if maybe I can get 5 stars per era, per episode. Because I was very far off that mark, unfortunately. I got 3 in 3 of the episodes and 4 in 1 of the episodes, and I think I could definitely improve that. Though, I might do the campaign more as a stream and just sit down for 6 hours, just play the game solidly and see just how well I can do. But definitely, we've got loads of different challenges around here that we can play through. Lots of times, 10 challenges in total, and there's also free mode, where you can have mini, small, normal, large, and huge. Now, I guess huge would be the same size of land as we had just now, or large it was. I'm not sure. Maybe huge is just 1 step larger for the sake of free play. But again, there may be lots of new changes coming in the future. To those who have asked me, is this game worth the price? I mean, I can't answer that for everyone because money has a different value for everyone. Is this game worth the price to me? Now, obviously, as I've mentioned, I got the game given to me by a developer ahead of its release, so I was very fortunate in that regard. But if I were to pay it, yeah, I would say that this was worth the price to me because I like these kinds of games. I'm already kind of itching to play more. I really want to jump into free mode and play a little bit more and just see what I can do. I would get enough hours out of this game to make the price worth it. My litmus test, I guess, or my rule of thumb, if you like, is an hour for every £1 spent. If a game will give me an equal amount of hours of playtime, of genuine enjoyment, not just grinding, but genuine fun, as it cost in pounds, then it's worth the price, because that's certainly better money for entertainment value than I would get in almost anything else I could do with money, like go to the cinema or anything like that. But I'm going to leave it there. Do let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this series, and in fact, where you'd like to see this go. Would you like to see more challenges? Would you like to see free mode play? And if so, what kind of map would you like to see us play on? And also, how perhaps you might like to see me develop the worlds. You want me to start off with just a water world and then build up from there, or kind of sculpt the lands fully from the onset and just let time run, because that's another thing you can do. You can just sculpt the sandbox first and then just turn on time and just sit back and just watch how things unfold. But that is going to be it for me. So as ever, do remember to like if you liked, sub if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.